Welcome to this episode of our program, Daily Debate. As usual, we will be discussing a contentious debate. And today we'll be speaking about Egypt's developmental plans and programs, reform programs that were put by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi since assuming his office. This in light of the president's receiving the Arab Development Action Shield Award for the year 2020 from the Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abulghait. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassam Radi said that the shield is given to developmental entrepreneurs who have an unconventional thoughts and made a difference within their societies. President Sisi, the Arab League Secretary General, said that President Sisi has pioneering development experience in the Arab world, as Egypt has witnessed great development in all fields since he assumed the presidency in June 2014. Since taking office, the president has been keen on carrying out a plan of economic reform, and despite the crises that faced large segments of the society, citizens recognized the importance of such plans for Egypt and its people, especially after the outbreak of the coronavirus, which threatens the world's strongest economies and makes experts expect that the global economy would suffer heavily from losses. Indeed, the Egyptian economy took stable steps and made progress and improvement thanks to the state, which is carrying out a large number of mega projects in different sectors. In tonight's episode, we are going to shed light on President Sisi's efforts, the leadership effort to achieve great development in all fields, and the pioneering developmental experience that were put, and also Egypt's economic reform and challenges facing it more and more in our episode tonight. And before we delve into our discussion, let's have the first top story of the day. And amid ceremonial aura, heads of tribes in Halayb and Shalatin received on Monday candidates of coordination of bodies, youth and politicians, the CPYP, for the parliament elections. Youth of Bishariya and Ababda tribes received the candidates in festivity mood amid cheers of "Long live Egypt" and "Long live President Sisi." Members of the CPYP discussed with the residents of Halayb and Shalatin the demands and problems, affirming that they have come to the last point of Egypt's southern border to present their political programs. Several heads of tribes in Halayb and Shalatin confirmed the support for President Sisi and their participation in the forthcoming parliamentary elections. The residents also praised the ability of the CPYP in tackling political, economic, and social issues objectively and transparently within the interests of the country. Right, and I guess we have with us over the phone Mr. Mohamed Saiedy, member of the Coordination Committee of Parties, Youth Leaders and Politicians. Good evening to you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes? Mr. Mohamed Saiedy.
It's a pleasure being with you.
A pleasure to have you, sir. All the pleasure is mine. And we're speaking today about the receiving of the convoy of the CPYP delegation in Halayb and Shalatin, the issues that were tackled, and definitely how was this delegation received and the significance of such a visit.
First of all, I'm very happy we're using the name CPYP because the full name is very long, to be honest. Our convoy was invited by Sheikh al-Mashayikh, Sir al-Khatam. He is the Sheikh of Al-Abadiyya tribe in Egypt and Sudan. Our convoy was received earlier, before even the borderline of Halayb and Shalatin, with a very, very large display. People came out with trucks, camels. They were putting on words and phrases like "Long live Egypt," "Long live His Excellency," "Long live His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi." The road was basically full of people, full of flags receiving our convoy in respect of Sheikh Said al-Khatam invitation to the CPYP.
Yes. What exactly were the issues that were tackled during this visit? What or how the people in Halayb and Shalatin see the future or see their future in light of all the developmental plans that are taking place, and why were they praising this particular era?
In Halayb and Shalatin, first of all, I would like to thank the tribe for the invitation, and I want to say that even though they are the furthest point from the capital, but they have very high awareness of all the political issues Egypt has been facing, both on the front of fighting terrorism and the war against terrorism and the war against corruption. They displayed great knowledge of the issues facing Egypt, government and people, and they want to be part, they want to add more to this fight. They want to participate politically. They are happy youth are participating politically and reaching high places, especially in the CPYP, like deputy governors, like members of the Senate, and now, if in God's will, members of parliament. The issues that were tackled are basically the same issues in all of Egypt. The people in Halayb and Shalatin, they want stronger governance. They want higher municipality development. They want better hospitals, better health care. They want more jobs. They want more access to trade. The basic needs or the basic questions or the basic wants of every Egyptian. And the CPYP is tackling politics in a way that we want to make this true or make this happen through our legislative agenda. We are not looking to be the kind or the model of politicians that just work on the work, that just go to the street and help people with their day-to-day lives. We want to do that. But above that, we want to create a stronger political agenda for all of Egypt, something sustainable. And that's what the people in Halayb and Shalatin want, and that's why the invitation came. That's why we respected the invitation, and the convoy went there.
Right. Finally here, if I may ask you, they all confirmed their support for the president and confirmed their participation in the upcoming parliamentary elections. From your point of view, or from what you heard of those people, why are they keen to participate in such elections? How do they view their future? How do they want to be part and partial of the development that, or the sustainable development that is ongoing in the country? What is the parliament from their point of view?
I want, first of all, to express the sentiment of our families and our brothers and sisters in Halayb and Shalatin. And I quote one of the youth when I say, he said, I would die for Egypt any day. They want this kind of participation. They want to see Egypt in a stronger place, safety-wise, economically, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to sustainability. And they believe that by going to the palace and by selecting the proper representation, which they hope the CPYP is, and we hope we will be able to carry on this kind of responsibility to Parliament. They are hoping that they will reach these goals, sustainability, and that their participation will be part of the process of reaching these goals. And that's why they're very keen on participating in the coming elections and finding the proper representation or the proper delegates they want to support.
Oh, I just would comment on he would die for Egypt. You mean here he would die for his country, right?
Yes.
wouldn't any one of us do that? Mr. Mohamed Saiedy, member of the Coordination Committee of the party's youth leaders and politicians, we thank you so much for being with us. And hopefully we would see forthcoming parliamentary elections in such moods in the whole country. Moving on to our next top stories. Before we move on, let's take a break and then we'll come back.
إن المهام المنوط بها البرلمان تحتم عليه أن يكون برلمانا حرا وممثلا حقيقيا لرغبات الشعب. وعليه أن يمارس هذه المهام في سياق الممارسة الديمقراطية السليمة. اوعوا تختاروا غير الأفضل ليكم ولبلدكم.
Right, welcome back and to our next top story of the day, and in news that I guess has rocked the whole world, not just Egypt, and the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced he would release more of former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's emails. An openly political move on behalf of US President Donald Trump ahead of the November election and a year after a State Department investigation concluded there was no persuasive evidence of widespread mishandling of the classified information by Clinton on her aides. A day earlier, Trump expressed displeasure that his top US diplomat had not yet released the emails deleted from Clinton's private server, which she said in 2015 were personal and private. In an interview, Pompeo said he has got the emails and is getting them out. It was unclear if he was referring to the deleted emails. Asked if they would be released before the election, he said that he certainly thinks there will be more to see before the election. An investigation by the State Department released in October 2019 said there was no persuasive evidence of widespread mishandling of the classified information. Then FBI Director James Comey twice concluded in 2016 that Clinton should not face criminal charges over her use of a private server, but did rebuke Clinton and her aides in July of that year for being extremely careless in the handling of classified information. In some of the emails that were spread, some information about how the US has supported some of countries who are described to be supporting the terrorism, including the support of countries like Qatar and Turkey to some of the terrorism actions that were taking place in some Arab countries in the Middle East. We'll be seeing more about that during this month, I guess, and before the November elections. But this was a piece of news that really rocked the whole world, not just Egypt or not just the Middle East. Before we delve into our discussion, let's have the first reports and continue on with our topic, or with our episode today. And President Sisi receives Arab Development Action Shield Award for 2020. Let's watch.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received the Arab Development Action Shield Award for the year 2020. The President was handed the award by the Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abul Ghait during a meeting which was attended by Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry and Arab League Assistant Secretary General Hussein Zaki. The Arab Development Action Shield is an award that is given annually by the Arab League to Arab figures that led the development process in their countries. Abu Ghait hailed the comprehensive development approach led by President Saiedy in Egypt, which formed a model to be emulated throughout the rest of the Arab world. Presidential spokesperson Bassem Radi said in a statement that President Saiedy expressed his gratitude to the Arab League for this great honor. The head of state said that this shield is dedicated to all Egyptians who have contributed with their awareness and patriotism to the success of the economic reform and the process of comprehensive development that is being carried out with Egyptian efforts and resources. President Saiedy also affirmed Egypt's support for the efforts of the Arab League to enhance cooperation between Arab countries and its concerted efforts to support the development process in the Arab world in a way that meets the aspirations of their peoples and strengthens the spirit of joint solidarity. A total of 14,762 projects have been completed since President Saiedy took office until June 30th of 2020, at an estimated cost of about £2,207.3 billion. Also, a total of 4,164 projects are being implemented at a cost of £2,569.8 billion. Over the past 3 years, the shield was awarded to Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid of Dubai, King of Jordan Abdullah